Hey, what is up guys, DP here from Team Triple Drive. Today I'm coming at you with my deck profile of the Nextage deck. This is a control oriented build which I've been playing around for ages since I practically got this deck. I've been tweaking it with the new stuff coming out, so I was trying it out, then switching things around a bit. And this is the build that I've kind of got to at the moment. I finally can profile it. It's recently been featured in our match against Magus, and I'm sure you'll see more games with it. As I said, this is a control variant. This is not a time leap variant, so that will be up a little later, maybe in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I'm still getting a few pieces in for the time leap variant, but I honestly prefer this at the moment to the time leap. I've tested both. I feel this is more consistent for me. It suits my playstyle a bit better. And yeah, so let's just kind of get into it. First we play 4 Crown Jet Dragons. Boss card, not much to say about that, you need them. Then 4 Bali, because Bali is your 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th Crown Jet Dragon. Virtually. So consistency, for consistency reasons you play 4 Bali, 4 Crown Jet in this version of the deck. Because you do need Crown Jet. So then next we play 3 Steam Fighter Amber, 3 Upstream Dragons, 3 Calibums, and 2 Gloom Breaths. Now I'll talk about these now. Let's start with Amber. Amber is very good because not only can it use a skill more than once, unlike Gloom Breath, Calibum, and Upstream, it gets to stay on the field and it becomes virtually either a sponge or a constant rewind card. People will target it. No matter whether they're playing control or non-control, they'll either attack it or they will kill it. Or lock it, rewind it, whatever their control deck equivalent is. So they will try to get rid of, neutralize this card somehow, because yes, every turn to have an extra rewind outlet is very good. So they will try to kill it. Upstream is very good in this deck to combo. You can combo into some nice grade 1s. You also can fish out some key combo pieces, which I'll get into in a bit. And he's also a 13k attack on his own, a 17 attacker with a 4k trigger, which we have a few of in this deck, so very good. Then Calibum. Calibum is the non-gem break unit that you play, because if somebody plays a grade 2 game, even if they don't play the grade 2 game, this can remove starters before gen break, which is what most starters, at least most of the very overpowered starters, operate at. So he can remove that before your opponent even hits grade 3. Then we play 2 Gloom Breaths. Now this used to be History Maker in this deck. Then I realized History Maker sucks in this deck. Now I'm not saying it's a bad card, just in my version of the deck, the way I play it, it does not help. I realized I would rather have more rewind outlets, so I tried Gloom Breath, and so far I'm liking it. It becomes 11k, but it's a one-time use, so we play 2 of him, and because he also uses up Soul, that's another reason to play 2 of him, while Amber stays in the field and does not use up Soul. Right, next we play 4 Perfect Guards. For G-Flip Perfect Guards, this deck does use Counterblast as the resource, but it has one of the more manageable Counterblast outlets kind of to use, because yes, you can unflip with this, which is nice, but you don't always need to unflip so much. In this deck it's actually rather easy to just, sorry, there's a lot of glare I noticed. It's rather easy to manage your Counterblast, which is not what many decks can do that actually use it as their main resource. So that's quite nice. But the G-Flip PGs still help quite a bit. just in case you do need them. Anyway, next, 4-star Nameless. You want to start in this deck. If you don't, you lose, so 4-star Nameless. Not much to say. Then play 3 Gearwolf. Gearwolf is amazing behind Nextage. Even on his own, he's quite good. And just behind a rear guard, he can make you hit columns, which are very, very nice in this deck. Against non-control deck, you'll laugh him because they cannot get rid of him, and you can get multiple of them as you go through the game, and just get some very ridiculous plays off. So very, very good card. 10 out of 10. Would play again. So he's also fishable with Upstream. So yeah. Well, next thing that's really good and also fishable with Upstream is Danish. Danish is a Gembreak 1 Calibum. So when she's placed on the rear guard circle, you can downgrade one of your opponent's rear guards. So yeah, good card, but she's a Gembreak, so not as good as Calibum. I honestly would not mind if she was a 6k but non-Gembreak. Oh, it'd be so overpowered. And final grade one is 1 GG. GG is not... it's not too great at 2, but is very, very good at 1. Some of my friends play it at 2, which is fine, like freedom to you, but I feel that 1 is a perfect number because she goes back to the deck and there's quite a low chance of you damage checking her before you use her. And in this deck, the way I play it, I only really ever use her once because she also competes with Upstream? No, Gloombreath, sorry. Gloombreath Dragon. So, yeah, that's why I only run one of her. Zeros, Chrome Drown starter, literally the best starter for Gear Chronicles, so not much to say about that, just move on. For heal triggers, very good card, saves games, you know. 6 damage heal is always good. For this draw trigger has the ability to go into Soul and give some +3 game because this deck can use up Soul quite a bit. It's nice to have this available to you. And also draws are nice in this deck, you do want to draw. Next, Hard Thump Workers. This is one of the most essential kind of push cards you have for the next stage turn, because together with Gearwolf, this can make your Chronojet hit such big numbers that your opponent may lose just because of these cards and not because of actual like next stage restand Chronojet. So Hard Thump Worker is really nice. I've seen my friends play it as in attack, put him into the soul early game to feed the soul again, but unlike the draw trigger, you don't mind as you get to draw a card, so I kind of get that, but I tend to save them for the next stage push. So yeah, and then for more crit triggers. A crit for draw for heal. Okay, Stride deck. Let's start off with 4 Chrono Dragon Nextage. Yeah, very, very good card. I've heard people are saying that you don't need to play 4. Some people were saying it, like my locals, that you don't need to play 4. 2's enough. It's not. More and more people that were saying it now realize that no, 2 is not enough, you need 4, especially with the current meta where he's just a very, very strong push, and against certain decks you just don't have enough of that kind of push, so he just becomes too too valuable not to play at 4. So if you can afford 4, play 2 obviously, but do aim to get 4. Alright. Next, play 1 Metallic Phoenix. This is going to be always your first turn stride. Always. And the card you're always going to flip up is Cronus Command. This card is not that good on its own, so you play it because now with the new Fighters Collection we have access to Revolution. Yes, ha ha ha. Finally got this in today. I've been meaning to get them for a while, but nobody had them before, or at least nobody said they had them, but turns out one of my friends did. So I got them in, and he is so good. He is a bot wiper, which allows you to keep 2 of your units if you have a Cronus command face up. So that's where you flip it up with Phoenix, and now when you go into Revolution, you bot wipe but keep 2 of your units, your own doesn't keep any, and you're like, ha ha ha, what board? Yeah, so it's just such a good card. 10 out of 10 would play again. I've played against Link Joker, and honestly, it got to the point where the Link Joker player was like, oh look, he has 2 counterblast. Max he can rewind is maybe 1 unit if he wants to go into Nextage, next turn or this turn or whatever. So he spammed his field out. Little did he know that Revolution was played even in the rewind version of the deck. I was like, yeah, goodbye your field. Thanks for wasting your hand. Next stage will say hello to you next turn. So yeah, very good card. So happy I got this in. Before I finish off this video, I just want to say I did test this deck a lot. So I kind of know what the hell I'm playing with, and this suits my personal playstyle very well. In fact, it is one of my most favorite decks that I've ever played, and that's saying a lot because I trade decks a lot and play a lot of different ones. But this is one of my favorites. I got this by trading in an Abyss deck without really any strides, at least any good strides or core guises. I got this in with 4 Nextage. I was like, oh my god, yes, so good. And yeah, at first I was hesitant because I was like, well, I don't know, Chronicle, is it for me or not? But yes, I'm so glad I did. One of the best decks I've ever played. And this version just gets you such easy control over your opponent, so the pressure that your opponent gives you is much smaller than what he would give you in the timely version. But timely version is a bit more like pokey on its own, and it does less rewinding but more poking. This does not do much poking, but does a lot of rewinding. And this deck's main weaknesses is early rush decks. If you watch our Magus versus this, he rushed quite early, even though his deck is not a rush deck really. But he rushed quite early, and I had a decent hand, it's just I did not have a good hand for rush. And that screwed me over. And I almost lost, but then I psyched my way through it, so I managed to stay alive. But yeah, but rush decks definitely hindered this deck. Another thing that kind of sucks against to play against is Paladins. Paladins spam the board, so you know, not the best deck to play against. Like, I rewind your whole field. Okay, I'm just gonna superior call my whole field. Yeah, great, thanks. That helps. Yeah, so Nextage definitely good against a lot of decks. Paladins, it has weaker matchups against rush decks. You're gonna have a harder time. Although once you start getting into strides, you can recover against rush decks. Against Paladins, just hope your next stage pushes are enough. Also, against Paladins, another thing that I can recommend, if you can stay alive long enough, between your first next stage and your second next stage, try to bring in a Chrono Jet only turn, because his Jam Break 2 is still very good, and it can still apply pressure, but it's not, you might not be able to finish the game. But then the next stage, the turn after, will probably finish it off for you. And yeah, apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. I tried to kind of explain everything as I go along. If you have any questions about this deck, please leave them in the comment section below. I know there are some other variants that people play, and I am building Time Leap at the moment. I'm missing Clockfence Dragon, or whatever his name is, and So yeah, I'll profile that when I've built it and tested it, and well, I've tested it before, but tested it IRL now, I guess. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.